Hey artists and creators, J-Star here, and today I'm going to show you how I made something from before. This stamped page I did in my recent collage video, collage paper video, and Denise wanted to know how I did it more specifically. So here's the video showing you guys how I did it. Thanks, Denise. Okay, so here we have these are the two stencil sets that I got from Temu that basically have some kind of ticketing, but mainly it's kind of numbers was what I got them for. You can see. And I'm not sure if they still have these. Everything on Temu has gone up since tariffs, and I haven't even shopped there in a long time. Plus, people tell me it's terrible to shop there, but I feel like Amazon and everything is just as bad. So who knows? I don't know. But anyway, they're cool stamp sets with the numbers on them. And then I also used this Tim Holtz one. I think it's called Field Notes. So I used like the numbers out of here mostly. So you'll see, because it's like fill in the blank kind of thing with that. So first thing we need to do is get a blank piece of book page. And usually you can find a few nice blank ones up at the front of a book. And I'm just gonna try to tear it out. Okay. I mean, even if I use that side with that little Pura Nimbadasa Harriet, I don't know, for my sweet little Harriet. Cool. I'm gonna turn this way so I can really see it. I want to use it that way. So it's basically just as easy as stamping. Now, I'll start with this one. Okay, and I'm using Stays On black ink. I like the Stays On because you can stamp with it and then pretty immediately put watercolor or whatever over it and nothing will smudge it. Okay, so I'm just going to start in this upper corner and give a little stampy stamp, and I'll move down here to the bottom corner, just do opposites, and that's all I'm going to do with that one. Now, when I originally made them, I think I made 3 sheets at a time, so I just stamped a couple on each. Let's see, which way does this go up? This is the up. Okay. I like when I'm doing stuff like this, like a collage or whatever, I like all my text to be running one way. It's okay if it goes sideways a couple times, but when you start to getting into upside down and diagonals, I think that's too much. I'm going to come in right next to it and stamp that. And then here, as I just said, I'm going to come in down here and go vertically with it. Okay, no rhyme or reason, just I want to fill the page slowly with kind of each piece. Now, when you use this paper, you're probably going to be using it in different, in smaller pieces, So, oh, this is a nice fit. Look, see, that fits right there. So, I mean, I'm not even planning. I'm just seeing what's available, and then I use it. Okay. You'll use it in smaller pieces. So, you probably won't be getting repetitions. Even if you use the whole sheet, you're going to end up covering parts of it. So like this November 28th is pretty bold, like that stands out. So I wouldn't want to use it too many times in a page, because it would just be too many times. It would start to show like repetition. Okay, now I'm using the one that says bingo. I think that the bingo is too much. Okay, I just want the numbers. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to take a little Post-it. Okay, I'm going to ink it up I'm not even gonna try to get the bingo. If you're careful, you can just not ink the bingo. I'm not that careful, but I'm gonna come in here. I'm gonna line up the bottom and then slide the Post-it under the bingo and then stamp. Okay. And then that gives me a number grid without the bingo on it. And now I can try, just for our sakes, if I'm careful, I don't ink the bingo part, okay? And then I'll come right up here and I'll go over it. Cool. Gets us some numbers in there. Let's see. And now I'll switch to this other one. I do like this set because it has these kind of nice rectangular pieces, and they have a lot of graphic lines, which help define things. This one's a little too big for my stamping block, but I'm gonna go with it anyway. Now this one, yeah, this way goes this way. Put this one right here. Cool. And I'm gonna do this right over here as well, somewhere right there. And you'll see, like, I'm leaving that little space there. I'm not leaving it, it's just there. So later on in the other thing, or maybe even here, I'll find a little stamp to slide in that little space. Okay. I think I want to go ahead and get this bingo number in here, this other bingo number. But you'll see I don't have much space left up here. So what I'm going to do is Post-its again. I'm just going to post it around my area. Ink it up. Oop. And then I'm just going to line it up where it fits in between the Post-its. And then when you peel it off, you got the numbers there. And then let's do the same thing down here. Now, on this one, I use the upper half of the stamp. Now I'm going to use the bottom half of the stamp. I see people using stamps a lot where they ink them and then they just kind of use the same corner over and over and over again. If it's a pattern, rotate your thing. If it's letters and numbers, shift it. Use the different sides of the thing just so you can get that variation. It's so important to get the variation in there so that it, you know, looks unique and interesting each time. I'm gonna kind of line that up. Sometimes I, of course, love black and white, so I have white Post-its. If you have colored Post-its, it's actually easier because you can see what's not your background. Okay, that actually lined up pretty well because the Hilton Bradley company stayed on there. Okay, that looks nice. And now I've got these little places. Do we have, there's this kind of chickadee thing, which will definitely fit in a couple. So I can just slide that in there. It's a little squanchy, but fills the space. And maybe we'll go here as well. This one's a little more breathing room. Okay, like that. That gets a little too messy for me right there because I'm going over it, but you know, what are you gonna do? So now we just have a couple other spaces to fill, and I think let's see. This is kind of nice. This is just a row of letters, A, B, C, D. Not all the whole alphabet, but some letters. And I think we can throw this in here. Yeah. And I think I'm going to throw it over here as well because it fits. Okay. Now, kind of blobbed that ink, but these are just background pieces, you know, it's not a big deal. Oh, you know what? I've got this little stamp. This is kind of good. You know, I hate to have to, you know, show you something that uses like 49 stamp sets because, you know, I know how expensive they are. They weren't so much on Temu, but that may be gone for us. But a few of these stamp sets that have a lot of things on them, it's nice because you can use it in variation and get a lot of use out of one stamp set. But sometimes you just want to mix in some other things. Okay. Now I just have a couple of spaces left, and I will go to the Tim Holtz set, and like, just to change the scale, I like this big number 785. Okay. Can that fit right there? Sort of. Maybe I should do that sideways. Yep, that's better sideways. Cool. And then there's that little number. I think I'll put that little number right there just to fill in that space of that check. I'm not going to do it there because I don't want it to look super matchy-matchy, and when you have the bigger bigger numbers, they definitely show up more, you know what I'm saying? So the smaller stuff can kind of blend in, but the bigger stuff we definitely want to use liberally, or sparingly, not liberally. Don't use it. I did that upside down, but oops, who's gonna know? Unless they're looking very carefully at it. Now I have this one little space over here. I think this thing will work. But I'm not gonna use, it says number 4899. I'm not gonna ink the number part. And I'll just throw that in there. Okay. And then it looks like we're done. I mean, that's a good page to use. Right? Nice and full. You can totally use this. Well, I was going to show you these little birds I made using some of this paper. But now I can't find them. I don't know where they went to. They are not in my stash. But okay, so anyway, here was one of the originals from the other video, and this one was the one I actually cut out of. But you can see it's nice and full. I've re-inked my ink pad since this, so you can see the difference. Anyway, very easy to do. Get going. Okay, so super simple. Just filling a blank book page with some graphic text and number stamps. A great way to make a good piece of collage fodder. Thank you for watching the video. Please like and subscribe and leave me a comment. Let me know what you think. From Funkin' Dazzles, this is J-Star saying have a great day and keep creating.